And welcome back to Late Night Lately, the late night show. If you didn't know, this is a late night style podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome back in. This is not the third time I've tried this. I have a monologue for you. Let's get into it. President Donald Trump spoke at the rescheduled White House Correspondents' Dinner last Friday, where he bombed while giving a 65-minute-long speech where he asked, "What are we doing here? Is this supposed to be fun? Am I supposed to be serious? Am I supposed to be a comedian?" He then proceeded to do his next 5 minutes. Spider-Man's out this weekend. He shoots webs from his wrist now. I'm usually shooting webs from much lower. Hey, did you guys hear about Tony Romo? Looks like he could still pass. A breathalyzer. I'm bombing up here more than we bombed Iran. Trump also donned a Trump 2028 hat. Hey guys, the dementia has finally kicked in. The late Senator Lindsey Graham's funeral was held this week. This time, the devil went down to D.C. and South Carolina. President Trump was seen at Graham's funeral falling asleep, which is the greatest compliment he could give his old pal Lindy. Because he doesn't know the guy's name in there. After delivering a tribute to Graham, Trump passed by the casket and tapped on it, but it was only to make sure his old pal Lindy Groom was really dead. "You okay in there? I know you're gonna pop out soon. Don't scare me." Senator Rand Paul released Dr. Anthony Fauci's COVID-era diaries before a Senate hearing this week, but it was only because Fauci called Paul a curly-haired little bitch boy. And finally, RFK Jr. launched a new YouTube cooking show that will focus on teaching Americans how to eat high-quality food at low prices. Recipes will include possum stew, turtle giblets, and bear holes. We'll let you decide which ones. That's the monologue for you. I'm so sorry. You know, all in all, I would say it was pretty decent. And you know what? If I had to do this 3 times, you better believe that this is the best time I've done it. Oh my God. I'm still holding the shotgun microphone that I used as a prop. I haven't used this microphone in forever. I bought it for News Time. News Time is this news show I used to do. It was before Last Week Tonight. It was before Closer Look. I was doing long form stories. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What happened this weekend late night? Well, apparently it's the final week before people go on summer hiatus. And by summer hiatus, I mean people tap out for a month and a half. Which means I tap out for a month and a half. I did not know. You might notice if you're watching the video, I'm wearing a yoga shirt. You might not. You might notice. You might think, oh, that's just a shirt. Or at the very least, you're like, it's a workout shirt. It's a yoga shirt. I am doing yoga immediately after this. It's a slow day at the office. I say that now at 4:54, and then something's going to happen at pop off at 5. I guarantee it. Anyway, this week on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, I'm going to say this. I don't know if it's because I've just been in a good mood watching these shows lately. But his monologues are so funny. I laugh so much at his monologues. But I've always laughed at his monologues. It's just some of the jokes for all of these hosts. Some of the jokes just aren't very good. But he's now leaning into his writers more and using them as characters. And I think that's great. I think it's really working out for him. Anyway, Jim Gaffigan was there. Carly Kloss was there. Bebe Rexha performed a medley. Why is everybody doing medleys on the Tonight Show? It's like the only place that does medleys. Keke Palmer popped up, looking gorgeous as ever. My friend went to the WNBA All-Star weekend, and she got to do a little, I don't want to say interview. It was just like a little, she talked to Keke and shot it on video, and it was like 20, 30 seconds long. But Kiki was there, and then she also performed stand-up as a character named Lady Miss Jacqueline. I love it when people are down to do fun things like that. John Stamos was appearing. I'm pretty sure he talked about the Beach Boys or some shit. I know the video says accidentally yelled at Elizabeth Taylor on the General Hospital set, but he probably talked about the Beach Boys or some shit. I just finished The Shield, and I went to Michael Chiklis's Instagram, and he was at a Beach Boys show. He and his wife, Stamos, plays with the Beach Boys, and the Beach Boys have stopped touring because they're old. They've paused touring for right now, or playing. I don't know, something like that. I just saw it. I just saw the headline. Sadie Sink was at the show to talk about Spider-Man. I'm guessing, I have not seen the movie. There's theories about who she is. It's pretty obvious. I saw her here in Atlanta once on the Beltline. And then I was riding back. It was like 10:30 at night. And I was on my bike and I was riding back. I was waiting at a stoplight to cross the street. And I see her. I've told this story on the Constitutionals before. But I see her and the Entertainment Business News show. And a tall, slender man-like person. And a short, curly-haired young man wearing a hat who was the most animated, jumping up and down and stuff. And I went, who is that beautiful redhead? That's like, I was just I was on my bike and I was just sitting there waiting at the light. I was like, ooh, who's that beautiful redhead? And then I noticed the jumping boy and I went, oh, that's the kid from Stranger Things. And then I noticed Finn Wolfhard. I don't know I completely forgot that kid's name. The curly haired one with the lisp. Anyway, and then I saw Finn, and then I was like, oh, that's Finn Wolfhard. I went, oh, that's probably Sadie Sink. And then we passed by each other. Well, they were going this way and I was crossing this way. So we passed by each other. And then the entire ride home, I had my phone on me. I did not look up how old she was. Well, the entire ride home, I was like, please be over 18. I will feel so disgusting. And she was like 22. I was like, oh, thank God. I mean, that's still 11 years younger than me, but yeah. Shabuzi performed a song, and Sierra popped up as well. And then Zoe Saldana was at the show, looking fantastic. And she and Drew Starkey were interviewed, but they also played Pictionary, and then Feed performed a song. I think Jimmy's going to be on next week. I'm not entirely sure. As for Late Night with Seth Meyers, he did his Closer Looks. Common was there. Brittany Broski was there. I don't like anybody who has encroached on my space as an interviewer. Even I've been doing it longer, and I don't get paid for it. Yeah, these people do their little chicken shop dates and their fucking what's it called? What Brittany Broski does like medieval fucking interviews or some bullshit like that. Pisses me off. I'm good. I'm the best. Anyway, there was also a which this is I always think these are funny. The surprise inspections of monologue jokes. The audience was not there for it. I don't know what these late night audiences want. You know, do you just want to be handed a closer look every single night? Do you want Jimmy Fallon to play games, or he does play games every night? Do you want him to give away like cartons of milk? I don't know what gifts he gives or whatever. Do these people want that? These want, but it's a late night show. Just laugh. These are it's funny. And Seth was doing his best, but he was having a good time. Tom Holland appeared on the show. Stavros Halkias was on the show. Dan Mintz was on the show. Carrie Mulligan, she was interviewed. Mary Beth Barone. She's a comedian, and I did not know who she was until this. And suddenly my Instagram is like, all the suggestions are her. And I'm just like, I don't know who that is. Smash cut to next week, I'm offered an interview with her. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Timothy Oliphant appeared, and he's just the best. I love Timothy Oliphant. And Cooper Hoffman was there, a Make-A-Wish kid who Well, based on how these fucking things work in this goddamn industry. On the Daily Show, there was no Kimmel. I was under the impression that Rosie O'Donnell was going to host. Rosie O'Donnell, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Is she going to host? Oh, the week of August 17th. Okay. I thought they were. I read, and this might have been wrong, but I read that Kimmel was coming back September. So that probably makes sense that he's coming back in September. Okay, so the show will be back August 17th. Got it. So at least 3 weeks from now. And then the Daily Show is off until September as well. And Jon Stewart hosted this week. He spoke to Caitlin Collins, a victim of Trump's verbal abuse. Victim. She's a white woman that hosts a CNN show. She's doing well. People love her because Trump told her to smile or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a little pissy today. Apparently, Jordan Klepper hosted the rest of the week. This is very interesting. On the Tuesday show, they included a bunch of deleted clips from his previous MAGA, rally visits. And it only amounted to about 3 minutes long. It's just like they probably couldn't find, but they all had like similar through lines, which was amazing. That that they went to like 3 separate rallies or whatever and found these through lines. Again, these are older clips from maybe like a couple of months ago, but they're newly recovered or whatever. I don't know. And they all have a similar through line. And then he spoke to Jeff Hiller from the show on the HBO. I forgot what it's called. It's like Up There, or Somebody Needs a Friend Out There, or something like that. Lewis Black talked about smart glasses, and it was such a great opinion piece. Why do people have these smart glasses? I know one person, and they work at a Whole Foods, and every time I see them, I'm just like, oh man, I hope you're not recording me or something. Twin Temple was there to talk about their new satanic album, Doomed Lovers. I watched part of the interview because I was like, oh, they seem interesting because they look interesting. Upside down crosses. I don't jive with that, but I'm sure atheist Jon Stewart does. Okay, I'm sorry. Klepper also used Bobby Cannavale to announce the Trump neck vag. Desi Lydic did her Emmy-winning Fox Explains. And then Klepper spoke to Theo Baker, and then there was a piece with Michael Costa talking to people on the street about who's the greatest American, and it's John Stamos. Last Week Tonight was back this week, and John Oliver covered Trump and his crypto. Again, there's a billionaire as a president, and a black president wore a tan suit once, and everybody was in an uproar. All the right was in an uproar. All right, let's get on to the story. Oh, here's some breaking news. This is crazy. It's late night. Yeah, okay. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter. Jesus Christ, I have ad block on. A version of ad block. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter, written by Mikey O'Connell. John Oliver talks new prospective business daddies in Colbert support group and reveals HBO contract extension. He's been extended he's doing at least one more year. We know that there's a pause in the Paramount, Skydance / Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition. That's 4 companies. Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers Discovery. That's 4 companies. Oh my God. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, his current contract is set to expire at year's end. Late Night's reigning Emmy magnate is staying the course. He just picked up the option to extend his contract by another year, keeping him at his hit show through 2027. I wonder how much he gets paid. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. Now this looks like it's an interview. We're going to go through this pretty well. Sorry, I'm looking at the C Plus Comedy email because that's where I found this story. This was like I literally opened the email and it popped in. Okay. There's just questions about. Okay. Yeah, there's a question about you and your staff have already won 32 Emmys for last week. Tonight you're nominated. That's about a point where Oprah Winfrey stops submitting herself for awards. Do you think you will do that? Let's see. I think it's fair to say that you're on line. Bucky's. They talked about the episode this week. Okay, on a scale of poking the bear, mocking Bucky's, blah blah blah. What's the most recent segment that you had that had you a little less confident? Okay, no, that's not interesting at all. Talked about General Hospital because he did appear on General Hospital. He's going to appear on Days of Our Lives. Okay, now finally we're at the contract extension. My goodness. The last time we spoke, a little over 2 years ago, you joked about already having so many different parent companies at HBO. And here we are again. We have various prospective business daddies circling, no one fully willing to commit just yet. What's your reaction to the latest delay? His response, who knows? I have absolutely no idea, which is almost helpful to the fact that I do not have any ability to control anything that happens with this merger. Therefore, we'll just do what we've done, which is continue like it isn't happening. Nothing's happening and everything has stayed the same. That's the only way that we can really move forward, total denial. I you know what? And I do appreciate that outlook because at this point, yes, if nothing is happening and you don't have to worry about right now who's in charge, then sure. I mean, keep going. And they renewed your contract. So that means that at least your crew and you are going to continue working. Let's see. But there are other business grown-ups in your general orbit. Have they talked at all about what this actually means and how you might impact the timing, how it might impact the timing of any changes? Business grown-ups, however well-intentioned they are, don't know what it's actually going to mean. In general, business grown-ups will say one thing before a merger happens, and their behavior can be very different afterwards. Again, I only know this so deeply because we've seen it happen a few times with this company. It's very true. Even when I was at Warner Brothers, we definitely saw it a couple of times. The rhetoric before a merger and the behavior after that always does match up. It's the conversation, and this is by and large for any company. The conversation around where like nothing's going to change. We're all just different. It always ends in the biggest changes, which include layoffs and cancellations and things of that nature. But it has nothing to do. But clear. Okay. And then a question. This is a good question. Have you spoken to Stephen Colbert much since his forced transition? Before I read the answer to that, Kimmel suggested to Colbert to come and do and guest host Jimmy Kimmel Live, and obviously Colbert was like, "It's too soon." But that'd be very funny if he did it. Okay. He just said that the group chat is still active. That's it. He doesn't answer the question. One silver lining to Colbert losing his job is that over the last year, I think audiences got a sense that there's a real camaraderie between all of you, and that was hardly a case a few decades ago, blah, blah, blah. I think about how you and your marketing team have tried to capture the national mood in your promo art over the last years, applying... okay, so this is not... nothing much is happening in this interview. This is a good interview. I'm not trying to shit on... Who wrote this? Who conducted this? I'm not trying to shit on Mikey O'Connell because they do have a rapport, so that's great. And it's an exclusive that you can drop today. It's just, but the extension was the news. Last Week Tonight is a show that I think is something. As much as I hate it winning all these awards, I do think it is, and as much as I hate the stupid stunts that they do, I'm sick of the stunts. I think it's all not funny. I think the show was at its best during the pandemic. I'm not kidding. It was just him in a white space of a room. Anyway, but it's still a funny show and it's still very informative. Don't get your news from late night. Do not get your news from that late night. Don't watch The Daily Show and don't watch Last Week Tonight thinking it's the news. Watch the news. Read the news. Find sources. Find sources to back up those sources. Don't just rely on some comedy thing because it's not real. Anyway, but I think this show is such a great antithesis to what... Well, I won't say antithesis. I think it's a great addition to what traditional late night used to be. In that it was monologue, game, guest, music, or stand-up. And I think they can all exist at the same time. I think that's very important to say. And finally, this is the original final story. This comes from USA Today, written by Wendy Noggle, who I believe is the senior or the lead editor for entertainment at USA Today. But she covered Jimmy Fallon and his Tonight Show and their booing of ratings thanks to younger viewers. He most recently, obviously, we've talked about this, I think, last week. He most recently launched the show's first microdrama, which is a 1 to 2 minute vertically shot show for dumbasses who can't pay attention to things. But I will say this, his social team is so good, and I've already spoken about their social team in previous episodes, but the social team is so good at jumping onto trends. I had no idea what Jimothy the Raccoon was, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And when I see it in a monologue, I go, what is that? And that drives me to want to go online to look it up. I don't do that because I'm an adult man and I don't want to know what trends are. Look, I'll tell you right now, I've got golf on TV. I've got the Rocket, I think, what is it? Rocket Mortgage Cup? Is that what it's called? Oops. Rocket Classic, but it is Rocket Mortgage. And I truly, if it's not on the New York Times or in my RSS feed, that is like, what's in my RSS feed? This is fun, right? My RSS feed is like, I'll just show it on the screen. It's like gaming news. What's under my news tab? ABC News, Associated Press, Axios, NPR. If it's not under any of those things, if it's not in the sports section, I truly don't give a flying fuck. But their marketing team is social team, their social team is fantastic. It took several weeks for this microdrama to be developed, written, and the cast secured, which includes Fallon, Stamos, and Delaney Rowe. Who is that? Let's see. Who Delaney Rowe is? A girl. Social media personality, actress, and comedian. Well, she can only be one of those things. So let's just take the word actress out of it. Let's take the word comedian out of it. Comedians perform sketch or they do stand-up, not TikTok. And I can say that because I talk to these people, to comedians. And I guess, this is the whitest fucking thing I've seen in my life. Why are they wearing sweaters around their neck? This is so dumb. With Colbert's departure, Fallon feels some responsibility to carry late night into the next generation. Even though he's 51, I think that he has the best energy to help do that. Fallon says the idea of it is that it's just someone that you can talk to that's there for you, that you can laugh and you can know what's going on in the pop culture world. I think that that's just needed. As I spoke about last week, the ratings for these shows, even when Colbert was on, it turns out CBS was a little bit right because the ratings have been down, and they've been down for years. Whereas Byron Allen's, very boring, very vanilla comedy shows are getting steady ratings, even though they are shot in bulk and just not very topical. They're all evergreen. The trick was that Fallon did not follow the script of the typical late night show. He had the roots. He has Steve Higgins, the producer on SNL, longtime producer on SNL, and his sidekick and a very funny man. But right out of the gate, he relied less on interviews than his predecessors or his peers, with 37% of his talk show of his show devoted to quote unquote talk, compared to 51% for Jay Leno, Johnny Carson, Seth Meyers, and David Letterman, 48% for Kimmel. Monologues were roughly the same, with Fallon using 23% of his time on comedy sketches and 14% on music, according to a 2014 study. I know at times it can seem like Fallon's Tonight Show is a little frenetic and unfocused, but I think it has its segments, especially if you work in television, which I know not a lot of people do, but if you work in television, things are done in blocks. At the top of a show, let's take the Today Show. At the top of a show of the Today Show, they do the intro, and then they do a bunch of stories for about 16 to 18 minutes. And then they go to commercial break to throw to your local weather. That's an A block. Okay. They come back. They do one or two stories. That's B block. And then blocks are broken up into 4 sections throughout the hour. So Fallon's block is theme song, monologue, sit down at the desk, commercial or interview, depending on how big the star is. Interview, be part of the interview, second part of the interview, or another interview. Then a game, maybe, or another interview. Stand up or music. We're done. He also produces a bunch of shows. He's doing Password with Savannah Guthrie, which is coming out next year. Let's see. They recently filmed in the UK, and she's crushing it. He also has Password with Keke Palmer. Keke. Yeah, I think it's a good show. And what's coming next? Fallon doesn't know what guests he's still chasing, and then so he's just always looking to do better, I guess. Okay, cool. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Listen, if you like what you heard here, go to website cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me talk to famous people sometimes. I just put out an interview with Zach Noe Towers. So check that out under the interviews. You can watch video versions of the interviews of this show, of the other podcasts, The Constitutionals, the Entertainment Business News Show, and LinkedIn Logs, the Jobs and Business News Podcast, over on youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see everything. Subscribe to those shows wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media at C+comedy, on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube. And me on those platforms at Chad Black White. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.